Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Elise Hand. I'll be your moderator today for an update on the Nova Scotia wildfire situation. Joining us today from the Department of Natural Resources, Jim Rutterham, Director of Fleet and Forest Protection, and Dave Steeves, Public Information Officer for the Long Lake wildfire. Also joining us is Andrew Mitton, Director of Regional Operations for the Department of Emergency Management. And we will begin with remarks from Jim and Dave. Following that, reporters can ask one question and one follow-up question. We ask that you please use the raise hand function at the bottom of your screen under the reaction section to ask a question. If you don't have a microphone, you can put your questions in the chat, but please also use that virtual raise hand function. And we do have a hard stop at 2:30 p.m. A reminder that outside of this media availability, media should direct all questions about wildfires to wildfirecomms@novascotia.ca. And Jim, over to you.
Thank you, Elise. Good afternoon, everybody. Today we still have 3 wildfires in the province. One, of course, out of control at Long Lake. 2 other ones that are under control that are being watched to make sure they don't become active again. Yesterday, we still, with the rain that we had on Monday, we still have not responded to any extra fires yesterday, which is very good. Gives our crews another little rest, even though they're still on call and ready to go. We are still feeling the effects of that rain on the fire. That rain happened on Monday. This is now Wednesday, so things are starting to, there wasn't a lot of rain there, but there was some rain, so it helped. The crews have been steadily working on that, including Monday, and they're making some progress. But again, as the conditions get drier, it makes the fire more active as well too. So that rain was nice and welcomed, and we will certainly take any bit of rain we can get. Still not enough to do what we need to do and really give this province a good wetting. So we're still in it. Remind people that if anyone wants to help with the wildfire effort, you can contact the Salvation Army with donations to support evacuees, the Long Lake wildfires, or you can contact the Nova Scotia Guard to offer your skills for future emergencies. And that's all I have, Elise.
Thanks so much, Jim. And Dave will also hand it over to you to say a few words. Go ahead.
Good afternoon. My name is David Steeves. I'm a member of the incident management team. I'm currently assigned to the Long Lake Fire Incident Station, and I'm stationed here in Bridgetown. So I'll just give you a brief update as to where we sit for this operational period. So our current status is we are still sitting in a state of out of control. Our current size is 8,278 hectares in size. Our resources for today are 9 helicopters, 6 fixed-wing aircraft. We have 36 firefighters from the Nova Scotia Department of Natural Resources, as well as a large contingency of administrative and management staff. We have 62 firefighters from Ontario, as well as 59 volunteer firefighters and all of the apparatus and equipment that they bring with them, as well as upwards of 60 pieces of heavy machinery who are continuing to grind it out in the backcountry and make fire breaks for us. So my hat really goes off to all those people in there doing the good work that they continue to do. So yesterday was a positive day for operations as far as firefighting goes. We were able to make good gains yesterday, and we're hopeful that today will bring that as well. Unfortunately, we're moving into what we call a bit of a drying trend. So as Jim mentioned before, we did receive a minimal amount of rain here, and it was beneficial for the short period, but we're starting to lose the effects of that precipitation. And the moisture that was available in the fuel as the days go on continues to be reduced. When that does happen, fire behavior and intensity is going to tend to increase. So for the next couple of days, we are going to be moving into a situation where fire behavior is going to start to move forward, unfortunately. That being said, for today's operations, crews are going to be concentrating their efforts on the eastern and western flanks of the Paradise Lake area. On the western side, there's a number of problematic areas that hand crews are in there working diligently with support from bucketing ships, as well as heavy equipment to tie those existing lines into place. And on the eastern flanks, we have a number of resources in there, also grinding it out and establishing new lines to try to pinch off areas of concern regarding that west-southwest winds that could be problematic. As far as morale for the firefighters on the ground, that precipitation that we did receive gave us an opportunity to really kind of reset and re-engage, and we're in a good headspace, and they are continuing to make ground and do really good work. The decisions that we're making in the field, obviously with safety in the forefront, we continue to use the most up-to-date weather and fire behavior information that we have to make decisions to make sure everybody gets home to their families. So that's pretty much where we are at for this operational period, at least.
Okay, thanks so much, Dave, and thanks, Jim, for your remarks as well. We will get to questions. I see some virtual hands going up, so we'll start with Lindsay Armstrong with the Canadian Press.
Hi there. I'm wondering if you can provide any update on an estimate of homes that have been damaged or destroyed.
Hi, Lindsay. Yeah, we're still conducting assessments as Jim alluded. We've still got some fire activity in the lower end, and as Dave mentioned, we want to make sure that things are as safe as possible before we can get in there to conduct full assessments to get a full picture of what's going on.
Can you help us understand? Obviously, too early to say like what you're seeing on the ground. Perhaps explain why it is so hard at this stage to get a clear sense of the level of damage.
Yeah, it's dangerous area as the fire moves through, it causes a lot of damage to trees. There's some old growth there that we don't want anybody getting hurt, and removing those dangers so we can get into to do a full assessment is utmost priority first.
Thanks so much. We'll move on to Mitchell Bailey with Global News.
Yeah, I was just wondering, how are conditions today impacting efforts? I know the rain received on Monday was said to hopefully buy some time for crews, but just wondering how much things have changed since then or are developing as we don't really expect to receive rain for the days ahead.
I guess I can answer that. Like I said, we're moving into a drying trend. We are currently sitting in very serious drought conditions, so the fuel is dry and is ready for combustion. So we can't really lean on the precipitation that we did receive a few days ago. It was nice and it gave us a little bit of a reprieve, but we have to go back into all business mode basically, and continue to be as aggressively, address situations as aggressively as we can, but safety has to be in the forefront. As Andrew kind of alluded to, there's a ton of hazard situations out there. And we're doing our very best to address each and every one of those. But every day that passes and there's no precipitation that comes with it, the situation gets a bit more dire. So we are ensuring that everybody has good situational awareness, and we're following our tactical directions from the ground commanders to ensure that everybody is as safe as we possibly can be.
Mitchell, did you have a follow-up question?
Yeah, sure. I think this might be for emergency management, but I'm just wondering, have any people who've been evacuated been allowed back into any areas of the evacuation zone to just receive anything that might have been left behind, perhaps medications or anything like that?
No. So as far as people that needing medications, we've had a few calls, and the Red Cross is helping those individuals with the local pharmacy to be able to get medications that they need.
Thanks very much. Ian Fairclough with the Chronicle Herald.
Hi, I'm just curious, when the head of the fire came up against the south side of Partridge Island Lake, was that a bit of assistance in that the head became smaller because that was a natural fire break, and even though it was splitting left and right, did that make things somewhat easier?
Yeah.
Did you want to address that, or would you like me to?
Yeah. I think it helped. It was a barrier. That lake is dry in parts for sure. But I think it did help with the branding, the fire. What do you call that, Dave? Sorry, I'm lost where spot fires ahead of it.
Spotting.
Yeah, the spotting would have did, but it did split the lake, and it did go up around the lake, not completely, but either way. So I would say it did help a little bit, and we're certainly glad it was there.
And just as a follow, Dave, you said that the crews are making gains. What exactly is that? I mean, are you able to say you've got a line partially around the the north end of the fire now, or what do you mean when you say you're making gains?
Every day we're making ground, and sometimes that doesn't mean that we've got a hose perimeter or dozer guard around the entire perimeter of this fire. We're doing our best to utilize whatever's at hand. So that could be unfavorable fuel. So if we run into a hardwood ridge up there, a hardwood component, we'll use that as a fire break, so to speak, or a road system, or like a rock quarry, or anything that is going to slow or impede fire growth. And we're going to take this fire by foot, and we'll get there. It's just going to take some time.
Okay, thanks. We'll move on to Selena Alders with CBC.
It's actually Angeli today. I think it was mentioned the other day that we could be fighting this wildfire for a month. What resources do we need to kind of keep that going for a month?
Yeah, we have them. We keep rotating. That's why we're bringing in some crews from Ontario today to give our staff some time to rest, and then they'll be back on the fire again in a couple of weeks when this crew leaves. The resources for this fire will expand as needed to get this thing under control as quick as we can.
My other question is just about, I know we can't say the exact number of homes lost because we can't get in to see all the areas where there are homes, but is there like a ballpark figure? Are we talking like under 10, dozens? Like, are we able to kind of give an idea in that way?
I don't have the complete list of numbers. We're working with the municipality. Of course, the municipality is making the strides in contacting each one of these homeowners, so they would have more concrete numbers.
Thanks, Angeli. We'll go to Daniel with All Nova Scotia. You might be muted there, Daniel. I'm not sure, or maybe you're asking a question in the chat. Yes, you are. Just one moment. Let me have a look. Sorry about that. Just seeing that. So Daniel Fraser, All Nova Scotia, wants to know, is the crashed helicopter still in Five Finger Lake, or has it been retrieved?
No, it's still there. It's inside an active wildfire for sure, so it's not safe to get that out of there yet. It's still there.
Great. And Daniel, if you need a second to type a follow-up, we'll just give you a moment there. Great. His follow-up question is, were any more homes evacuated yesterday?
No, there wasn't.
Okay, thanks very much. Brett Ruskin with CBC News.
Hi, folks. Correct me if I misheard the previous briefings, but did we have incident management folks coming from Ontario to come here, and have they arrived? Are they starting to help?
Yep, we do have an incident management team coming to replace the Nova Scotia incident management team, and they're being greeted as we speak. That's why Scott's not here.
That's great. Cool. As a follow-up, looking ahead, being hopeful with the weather forecast, looks like we might have rain for the weekend. Is that going to be, I know I'm hopeful too, is that sufficient, or are if we can make it to the weekend, we'll be okay kind of a thing, or is that still going to just be a little bit too little than what we need?
Sorry, go ahead, Jim.
Like I've said, anytime we'll take any drop we can get, but there's still some effect of the rain we had the other day. A slight amount is getting less and less each day, as Dave says, but we're going on. I'm hoping to see a lot of rain this weekend, but I haven't seen that good forecast yet, but we're hopeful. Sorry, Dave, if you want to add to that?
No, that's fine, Jim.
Thanks, guys. We'll go to Jason Malloy with the Annapolis Valley Register.
Good afternoon. Question for Andrew. Do you have any sense on when your crew might be able to get into all the areas to have a complete idea of how many homes have been affected by the fire?
Hey, Jason. Yeah, I'm really hoping, of course, we take the lead of Natural Resources and their crews in there to help us out and let us know when things are safe. And I'm hoping if we have a good day like we had yesterday, that today we'll help us out and help us get closer to that in the next day or so.
Thank you. And a follow-up question again for you, Andrew. We talked a lot about the sprinkler system during the initial evacuation zone. With the evacuation zone increasing, have any additional sprinklers been brought in to put around the homes in the expanded zone?
Yeah, so we've purchased some additional sprinkler equipment, as well as HRM has helped us out with another kit. And the crews are out there today just looking at other areas and where we might be able to do a little bit of a cleanup of where some are, but look at other areas of priority for sure.
Sorry, just to be clear, are they currently around those homes that were recently evacuated on Sunday?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, they are. Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you. I don't see any other hands up in terms of, I do now, actually. It's Sheldon McLeod with MBS Radio.
Thank you. Best case scenario, Jim, it's 30 days, 40 days. What is the incident command saying about best case for this fire?
This is a big fire. This has a lot of perimeter to get around. It has a lot of interior to get put out. That's going to take a lot of equipment to do that. And all that equipment, when it's finally extinguished, it's going to have to be removed. So we are going to be there for a while.
Thank you. For a follow-up, Susie's Lake, do you have any numbers now that it's been declared extinguished?
Numbers, I believe it was 15 hectares for that fire. Is that what you're after?
Yeah, if you had any other specifics about when they were able to clear the area.
That came off the books a couple days ago. I know they stayed there. They kept it under control status for probably longer than they had to, but given the extremes conditions we have, they wanted to be very, very sure that was extinguished. So that's all.
I'm just curious because it was a social media post that said it was officially declared out last night. So I just hadn't heard at the update that specific mention that it was out.
Yeah, sorry. Yes, it was out 2 days ago, I believe.
Thank you.
Not seeing any more virtual hands right now, so I'm just going to give it a moment. Caitlin Snow with Acadia Broadcasting.
Hi. The fire grew according to the estimates that came out from yesterday and today. How much growth are you expecting over the next couple of days, or did the growth come just because you got a little bit of a better aerial footage of it?
No, we actually did have an expansion of growth, but measurements will fluctuate with the more time that we have to be accurate in our measurement. But we did have a little bit of a run. It got into some favorable fuels and wind hit it in the right direction. And given the drought conditions, that's all it takes to get some pretty good spread area.
Okay, thanks.
Ian with the Chronicle Herald.
Yeah, I just we're up to 60 pieces of machinery now from we've been at 30 for a while. Is that just attempts to get further around the fire? Is that sort of supporting the efforts of what's already there and making for trying to make wider fire breaks where you're already working?
That's correct. The fire doubles in size, so it's more area, more perimeter to work with, more problem areas where machinery will help us. So it's ramping up accordingly. Yeah.
We'll go back to Brett with CBC.
Hi, more of a logistics question for our reporting. I know that lots of folks are interested in the number of homes that are damaged. Once we have that, no rush on getting it, but once we have that, is it going to be released and shared with us in a format like this, like in the 2 o'clock briefings? Will it be a tweet? Will it be the Annapolis municipality that shares that information with us first? Will it be a news release? Like, what's the actual sharing of that figure once we have it?
I think it's safe to say that it'll be a collaborative effort with the municipality. I mean, these are their constituents, and our primary focus, Brad, is to make sure that all of those folks that are affected, that we give them our utmost attention first, and then once we do that, we'll work with the municipality and our communications folks and make sure that we get the message out.
And Ian, go ahead with the Chronicle Herald.
Yeah, Dave, just wondering which part of the fire did that run yesterday happen at? Was it the east end going towards Trout Lake, or was it on the west side of, or was it back towards where it started?
No, the majority of the spur was on the western flank.
Again, I'll just give it another moment here, and we do have about 9 minutes left with our panel if anyone has any questions. And if not, we can wrap it up, but I'll give it a few seconds here for folks to ask questions if they have any. A couple came up here. So first up was Brett. So Brett, go ahead.
Sorry, I'm hogging just because I'm curious. Those heavy machinery, is that DNR machinery, or is that kind of local businesses pitching in and trying to help out?
That's contracted machinery.
Cool, thank you.
Thanks, Brett. And Jason, Annapolis Valley Register.
Is there any requests for additional air support?
So like the machinery and like the firefighters, as this incident grows, we look at all resources. There are some more air resources on the way. I don't like to report on anything until they get here because the weather can sometimes hold them up, but there is some more air resources coming.
I know things might be, do you anticipate today or tomorrow, or I don't want to.
Yeah, we should be seeing some new stuff there today.
Okay.
I don't know if they'll get an action today, but they should be in the area today.
And maybe Jim, just, what does that do to have more resources in the air when this fire is still out of control and growing?
Yep, it's a bit of a balancing act, an aerial ballet, I would say, but we have staff that are trained in that job, that are helping us do that job to keep everything coordinated from the air, and they create safe airspace, and they create zones and divisions of the fire where they report to, and altitudes and all that stuff. So it's a very coordinated effort to make everyone safe in the air as well. But this is a large fire, and it needs more resources on the ground and in the air, and we are getting everything we can to get this fire brought under control as quick as we can.
Can you say if it's helicopters or fixed wing, or where they're from?
These are more helicopters on the way. They're Canadian companies. I don't know exactly where they're coming from. Some of these were in Newfoundland fighting fires over there that are conveniently in our neck of the woods, and we can take advantage of that now.
Okay, thank you, Jim. I'm sure that'll be well-received news in the community.
Thanks, Jim. Thanks, Jason. Not seeing any more hands up, so I think we're going to leave it there. I'll keep my eye on the computer here for a moment, though, to see if we have any last-minute questions. I want to thank everybody. Oh, excuse me. Go ahead.
It's Jim.
Go ahead, Jim.
And I just want to say, just for everyone there, this fire is a very serious event for all of us involved, and we are putting everything at this fire that we can to get this under control as quick as we can. Just want everyone to realize that that's our prime goal, is to get this fire under control as safely as we can, as quickly as we can. So we're going to put whatever we need to put on that fire.
Thanks, Jim, and we so appreciate what you and Dave and Andrew are doing to manage these fires. That's all the time we have, so we're going to wrap it up. We actually do have a little bit more time, but I'm not seeing any more questions, so I am going to end it there. I want to thank our panel again for the update today. Please continue to monitor the province's social channels for the most up-to-date beneficial information. And again, thanks everyone for joining.